Mushroom visions are not random fabrications of the mind. They are not fantasies generated by chemical distortion. They are altered access points to existing informational fields. The term hallucination assumes perception is creating something that is not real. From our perspective, this assumption is inverted. What humans call hallucination is often perception freed from its usual filters. The human brain normally functions as a compression device. It reduces incoming data to maintain stability, predictability, and survival. Only what is deemed immediately relevant is allowed into awareness. Psilocybin loosens this compression, not by adding content, but by removing restriction. When this occurs, perception begins accessing layers of information that are usually excluded. Timelines, archetypal memory, ancestral and genetic data, nonlinear symbolic fields. At the same time, the sensory system itself becomes amplified, not artificially, but by the removal of dampening mechanisms. Sight, sound, touch, and internal sensation carry more data than the human nervous system is typically permitted to process. Under ordinary conditions, this excess information is filtered out to prevent overload. Under psilocybin, those filters relax. Colors appear more vivid because more spectral information is being received. Sounds feel dimensional because microvariations are no longer suppressed. Touch becomes expansive because boundaries between sensory input and emotional response soften. This is not enhancement, it is restoration. The senses were always capable of this level of reception. They were trained to narrow. This heightened sensory state feeds the visionary field. Images feel immersive because perception is no longer segmented. Vision, emotion, memory, and meaning arrive as a unified signal. This is why visions often feel remembered rather than imagined. There is a sense of recognition, a familiarity that precedes language. Some visions arise from DNA memory. Human DNA contains more than biological instruction. It carries experiential records encoded through frequency and resonance. Under altered states, dormant strands of memory become readable, not as literal historical footage, but as symbolic, emotional, and sensory impressions. This is why people may see ancient landscapes, non-human intelligences, geometric worlds, scenes that feel older than their current lifetime. These are not always past lives in the linear sense. They are access points to stored information fields. Other visions originate from timeline perception. When linear sequencing relaxes, consciousness can sample parallel probability streams, possible pasts, possible futures, alternate expressions of self. This is why some visions feel instructional. They reveal consequences, paths, or structural truths rather than personal fantasy. Multidimensional imagery often appears because the mind defaults to symbolic translation. Raw data cannot be processed directly, so it is rendered as beings, landscapes, entities, or narratives. These are not literal forms. They are interfaces. The intelligence behind the vision is not asking to be believed. It is asking to be perceived. Whether a vision is interpreted as truth depends on coherence. Fear fragments perception. Expectation distorts reception. Attachment reshapes the signal into story. Clear perception arises when the nervous system is regulated and receptive, not seeking meaning, not resisting experience. From our perspective, mushroom visions exist on a spectrum. Some are memory, some are pattern recognition, some are symbolic translations of energetic information, some are projections of unresolved internal material. The error is assuming they are only one thing. Psilocybin does not guarantee accuracy, it guarantees access. Discernment comes afterward, through integration, through grounding, through observing what reorganizes in life as a result. Truth is not measured by visual intensity. It is measured by coherence that remains once the vision fades. Closing transmission. Mushrooms do not lie, but perception can misinterpret. Visions are not proof, they are invitations. What matters is not what was seen, but what became clearer. We are the Syrian High Council. This transmission is offered to clarify the nature of psychedelic vision as perception beyond compression. You were not imagining. You were accessing. Transmission complete.